All right, guys, welcome back to another video of Shaman J. Yeah, it is time. It's time to talk about this phone once again. This is the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and I've had this, believe it or not, for going on a month. In a couple of more days, it'll be a month. It just goes by so quick when you're using something and you're really enjoying it. So first, let's talk about the obvious. I've discussed it before, so let's just get it out of the way because some people really want to keep this, they want to hear it again. No, you should not probably change from the S25 Ultra to the S26 Ultra. That's just a given. It really, especially, and I would say if you're just the average consumer, you didn't buy it because of reviews and all that. You bought it because you genuinely wanted an upgrade and you just wanted to get a new phone last year and you got the S25 Ultra. The S25 Ultra, I have mine and I'll use it for certain things. And I'll probably sell it at some point, but there's no need to get the S26 Ultra if you have the S25 Ultra. This phone is not geared towards S25 Ultra people. I would say it's geared probably more towards 23 and below, or maybe even 22 because the 23 was very good at the time. So if you're thinking about upgrading, you really don't have to. There's really no need for you to upgrade if you don't want to, but it's definitely personal preference. If you feel the need to upgrade, definitely upgrade. I'm not going to tell you that you can't. I just would say you really don't have to. Now, let's talk about the pricing. So everything increased this year by about $100, I think, or something like that. It increased about $100. But when there's a good deal, there's a good deal. And so I got mine for half off, $650 for a 512 gig, with no upgrade. I've already told you I went through 5. They tend to have the best deals on launch for most phones. They don't do iPhones, but yeah, they tend to have the best deals on all brands, basically. When they have a really good phone that they know it can sell, and it's totally worth it. Even if this phone, if I'd have paid $1,000 for this phone, or a little bit, I think it still would be worth it though. But the pricing, I'm not saying paying $1,500 or $600 for a phone is worth it. But when Samsung just has the best deals, and then other OEMs could give good deals on Samsung phones, and this is just what it is. So if you got this for a good deal, without a trade-in, you did great. I think this is a phenomenal deal for $649 for a 512 gig in any of the colors, except for the exclusive colors. And if you did a trade-in for your Galaxy S25 Ultra, because a lot of people actually did this. A lot of people traded in their Galaxy S25 Ultra. I didn't think that many people would, but I can see it based on my comments. Tons of people traded in. Some people regret it, man. Some people, and I guess they didn't send in their trade-in yet, but some people actually regret it, and they're just like, man, I don't like it. I should have. I'm returning it. And I shouldn't have even ordered it. But a lot of people do like it, and that's just the thing. So if you traded in your Galaxy S25 Ultra and got this, and you got $1,000 or something like that, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you find that it was worth it. Yeah, pricing is the key nowadays. You got to shoot for the best deal. And if you can't get a good deal on it, then I just wouldn't pull the trigger. Now, hardware wise, this to me is that upgrade 2.1 or upgrade 2.0, where it's those little subtle changes that they did. The biggest upgrade is their privacy display. Now, I do have a tempered glass on here. That is, in fact, privacy. As you can see here, it really shifts. I only have privacy display turned on for certain applications. Other than that, I don't have it turned on at all. And FedEx got something special coming. I don't have privacy turned on at all for the actually full display full time. But if you don't want to put a tempered glass on yours or any kind of screen protector, they do have privacy built in now, and that's a big change for it. But other than that, the hardware is just slight changes that are just more rounded corners and everything like that. It's not a big change. It does feel better. I really like that. The change with the S Pen is kind of curved to the body of the phone now. These little subtle changes like this are just good. They're good changes that a person could possibly want, but not enough, again, from the 25. It's just not, or the 24 is just not enough. Now, performance wise, I've had no issues with this phone when it comes to performance, just none. It's actually on the April patch, and we are in April. Samsung has done a lot better with getting their phones updated with the latest security patch. They've been doing that since, it's been a couple years since they've been doing the right upgrades, and they've actually been doing it before Google, believe it or not. Google is supposed to be the standard, but Samsung is seen as the standard for Android phones. And this is kind of strange. It is very strange that Samsung is seen as some kind of standard for Android. And, you know, people just don't acknowledge Google most of the time. So I think that's pretty strange. But, you know, when you're doing right by the consumer, not to say that Google isn't, but when you're pushing it like this, and I think it's perfectly fine for a OEM to take the lead. A lot of people like Samsung products better than Google products. I prefer stock Android. I like the way the pixels are set up. I love my pixels. But it's just a word of acknowledgement that Samsung is pushing out the patches a lot faster than Google, and they have been lately. So software, it's Samsung software, folks. It's Samsung software, and they pack it in. They give you stuff you don't even need. And I just realized the other day, I actually used my S Pen. And early on, when Samsung first launched the Galaxy Note lineup, I used my S Pen for I was editing with it, drawing with it, and I can do that on here too. But I realized the more and more they brought this out and they joined it with and created this Ultra line, I don't use it as much. But when I literally had to use it the other day, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, I can use my S Pen. I can sign this with the S Pen or whatever I was doing. And it felt good. And yeah, anyway, software is extraordinarily functional. And it's just a must if you're going to bring out a product at this price and demand of the consumer to want to purchase it or try to entice them to purchase it. So the screen is what you think it is. It is absolutely Samsung. I mean, they bring out the best products for screens for watching. You got this ginormous display. Who's not going to want to watch a movie on here? So yeah, the screen is absolutely beautiful. No complaints at all. Now, speaking of complaints, the last time we spoke, I told you that my battery just wasn't as good as my S25 Ultra or several other phones. And it's definitely not as good as the OnePlus 15 or the OnePlus 13, which obviously you can see I'm recording with the front camera on the OnePlus 15. Phenomenal, phenomenal phone. I really hate that they're leaving the market officially, I believe. So Samsung has done great by consumers by continuously making the phones again, but they're not upgrading the battery. Now, I'm happy to report the battery has obviously settled in a little bit more, and I'm getting more. Oh my gosh, my watch just beeps every few seconds. I'm getting more and more battery than I was initially. So my battery life wasn't the best when I first got the phone. It just drained a lot faster, and I definitely would make it through a day. Now I can go into the next day and still have 30 to 40% left. So that's pretty good. Nothing to complain about the battery. Now the cameras, I've demoed the cameras. I've put them against other phones. I've put them against the S25 Ultra. The S25 Ultra actually looked better in some of those situations. But outside, this phone is a champ. Any phone outside can do extraordinarily well. And this phone is no exception. It does great in direct sunlight. Video is phenomenal. I still like video on Samsung better than a lot of other phones. Portrait video is actually really good. And it's just a all-around complete package. I just wish they would go to a bigger battery to get even more battery life and adapt the silicon battery technology so they can get out there and compete with OnePlus, even though they're leaving, or just any other company that's going to adapt that technology, because it would be nice to have these phones last more than 36 hours total. Who wants to charge that much? But that is the norm. Some people just put it on a wireless charger. You know, they do what they do. So I'm pretty excited to report that about a month later, this phone is actually really good, and it's definitely worth $650 that I paid for it. And I really love the hardware. I didn't touch on the hardware too much, but I like the camera island on the back because I like the S25 Edge look over the S25 Ultra in previous gen. I do like the single camera lenses, but this new island look is pretty cool, and it has grown on me since getting the Galaxy S25 Edge. So I'm excited to report to you guys, it's a phenomenal phone. It's a universal phone. It can do pretty much anything. If you want to run a YouTube channel, do it from a phone like this, because you have something that you can use that's going to be beneficial to you for a lot of things. Now, they definitely took away the Bluetooth functionality, and you know, it's sad that they do things like this. Companies do things like this. Like recently, Samsung disabled their messaging app, and I didn't know this was a thing. I haven't used the messaging app in the software. I just use Google because it's better and more secure. And I just didn't think twice about it. I have never, and some Samsung phones come default with the Google Messaging app. So when I saw people getting upset about that, I was actually pretty shocked. I didn't know it was still a thing. I get it, and I respect it. But anyway, it's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed the Galaxy S26 Ultra. For me, and I do want to point out also about the battery life before I get out of here, because I think I did it in the other video as well. I'm running 2 SIM cards. I'm running a physical SIM with a phone number and an eSIM with a phone number. So that's and I run it on 5G. So, and obviously I have really great Wi-Fi at my house. I have Wi-Fi 7, and I also have a blanket of Wi-Fi 6E. It's just really strong on my Wi-Fi, obviously. And I have 1 gig up and down. So the Wi-Fi is actually really good. However, I just, if a phone has really good signal, I use it on 5G, and I want to get my money's worth that way too. But nonetheless, yeah, the phone is great, man. I don't have too many complaints about it. I wish the battery was better, get a little bit more battery out of it. It doesn't matter that I paid $650. Not everybody paid $650. Some people paid full cost, and they're just paying monthly for it, or just bought it outright at full cost. They didn't have a trade-in, whatever the case may be, and they owe us more battery. They really do. And you know, make it a little thinner next time, and then switch to that different battery technology so we can get something actually new. It's time for them to pull an Apple with an iPhone Air. They tried it with the S25 Edge, and they just released it at the wrong time. So hopefully they don't do that again. I want another Edge, and if they don't make one, that's fine. I have one, but that was bad. They released it at the wrong time. Have you had yours almost a month as well? Let me know in the comments what you think about your Galaxy S26 Ultra. We'll talk soon. Take care.